My name is Dr. Mark Rosenberg, and today I'm going to talk to you about the most common yoga injury. Actually, I should call it the most common yoga injury that I see in my office. I'm a chiropractor. I've been doing yoga, karate, and Tai Chi for 40 years. I've been a chiropractor 30 years. Needless to say, because I'm so involved in the arts, I get a lot of people who come to me for help. You know, they've been doing yoga for a while and they get injured and they get a little discouraged and they want to know what's going on. The word yoga, the practice of yoga, the postures are called asana. And Sanskrit's a fantastic language. In Sanskrit means without. Sana means to sit. So asana means to sit without pain, because in ancient times, when the yogis would teach their students postures, the purpose of which was to get them to be able to be more comfortable in their body so they could sit and learn other things, not just doing yoga in those times. They were learning mathematics, they were learning, cosmology, they were learning all types of healing arts, etc. You needed to sit for long hours, and it was important that you were comfortable in your body. So asana means to sit without pain. Now it feels great when you do yoga, it feels great when you stretch the body. And the most common injury that I see is that people do a lot of back bends, but they don't do enough or an equal amount of forward flexion. Now, it's hard to show that with this particular plastic spine, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown here. In the center of, forget that tube, that's supposed to be the spinal cord. In the center of each vertebra here is a disc. In the center of the disc is something called a nucleus pulposus. It's a little bit harder than the rest of the disc. The disc itself, which fills up this space, is gelatinous, and the center is a little bit firmer. And what happens is when you bend backwards, do a backwards extension like the bow, the cobra, the wheel, what you're doing is you're moving the disc, the center of the disc, slightly forward or anterior. And when you bend forward, you're moving the center of the disc slightly posterior or rearward. The goal is to remove muscle tensions and to make sure that the disc is centered. So if somebody does a 1-hour yoga class and 45 minutes is spent doing a lot of time doing back bends, okay, you could shift the disc forward, and in doing so, that will close up the space in the rear where the nerves exit the spine. So then they come to me, the chiropractor, say, gee, Dr. Mark, my back hurts. I want to quit yoga. And the answer is not to quit yoga. Yoga is a wonderful thing. The answer is to add the exercises that have everything go the opposite way. Okay, so it's all a balance. And I've always been a proponent of balance. If you've watched my videos, I always say whatever you do on one leg, you do on the other. But also front to back is very important. I find in general, after 30 years, I see a lot of people. People enjoy doing the back bends and the cobras. It feels good to open up the front of the body because we spend so much time in tension. And rightly so. When people tense up, they don't arch their back like this. They actually curve down this way. Somebody's very upset is bent this way. So the cobra and the opening, the wheels, open it, do the opposite. So from a muscular standpoint, it's great to stretch those muscles. From an emotional standpoint, it's great to move that energy that's stuck, that's really tight because you're upset or stressed or sitting in traffic all day long. That's all well and good, but we have to keep in mind underneath it all, we have a structure that we have to cherish and take care of. And if we spend too much time doing back bends, we're going to move that central part of the disc forward or anterior, and it's going to result in pain. In all my years of treating people, I've never had anybody rupture a herniated disc from yoga, but they've certainly hurt themselves enough where they found themselves on my table and had a desire to stop practicing. And I talk them out of it. I work on them, I fix them, and I tell them what they should do. And by and large, we don't see the problem again. So remember, everything in moderation. And if you're going to spend, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of your practice doing cobras, do 20 minutes forward flexions, downward dogs, things that move the body the other way. Okay, that's today's little video on the most common yoga injury that I see in my office. And this and other topics are in my book. If you look at Your Health in a New Way, the link is below this video. And if you have any questions, post them up to YouTube. I'll be happy to answer them.